guys, welcome back to New England Fire Cooking. I'm Aaron Higgins and today we're talking stuffed peppers. This is a real easy, straightforward recipe that you can do on any grill and you can do it in your oven as well. What I've got here is I've got about a pound, maybe a pound and a quarter of ground beef. And I've got some bell peppers here. And we're gonna slice these right down the middle. We're gonna get the guts out of it. We're gonna get all the seeds out and all that type of stuff. And we're gonna stuff these with some seasoned ground beef and some ricotta cheese, some cheddar cheese, and we're gonna top it with some marinara sauce or some spaghetti sauce, or however you really wanna do it. There's a lot of wiggle room in this recipe, and this recipe is awesome. So I've got this skillet here that's been running on medium-high heat, and it's just getting up to temp. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw this ground beef in here and we're gonna brown it. And we're gonna season it with the Heath Riles garlic jalapeno rub. This gives it a really good savory flavor, and it also gives us some heat on the back end. And just chop this meat up a little bit. Move it around. Want to get that rub incorporated. And you just want to let this brown up. You want to make sure that you get it chopped up pretty good. Just make sure that you incorporate it really well so it's all evenly seasoned. So while our ground meat's cooking right now in the skillet, what we're going to do is we're going to take these peppers and we're going to split them right down the middle as best you can. And you want to get rid of all this. You want to get rid of the guts. You want to get rid of seeds and all the stuff that you're not going to eat. So what I do is I usually just come in with a knife, work around where the stem's at, come right up, pull those guts right out. You just want to get some nice halves like that. So as this meat nears its completion here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of shredded provolone and mozzarella to this meat. Make it nice and cheesy. We're going to get this all incorporated, and it should be really good by the time we're done. That smells awesome. Okay, so I just pulled this meat out of the skillet and I put it in a small bowl, maybe a medium-sized bowl. So what we're gonna do is, this is typically an Italian type dish, but I like having a little bit of zest and a little bit of a flavor pop when I make these. So what I have here is just some cheap, medium, chunky salsa. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of this and I'm gonna get a little bit right in the meat. Not a lot. You really don't have to go too crazy. This is just something that's gonna bring a little bit more flavor to the game. And now I'm just gonna take a fork and I'm just gonna mix this together and get it somewhat incorporated. And of course, what I have to do now is I have to see if this tastes right. That's a really good balance. You got some tomato, you got some onion, you got spicy from the salsa, and you also have your garlic jalapeno rub, which is giving it just a little kick of heat. We're gonna let this calm down and chill out for a minute. I really want to get the meat inside this cavity and let it sit out and hang out in the fridge overnight and let that flavor really get into the flesh of this vegetable. Okay guys, so as you can see, our meat came down to room temperature. I packed these peppers. I gotta be careful about how I do this so I don't dump them on the floor. I've got an old cat that's sitting there just waiting. He's just poised, ready to gobble all these up. Except for the peppers, he's just interested in the meat. Aren't you, Dave? Anyway, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna leave them right here on this cookie sheet, and I've got some plastic wrap here. I'm gonna come right over the top of these. And what we're gonna do is we're just going to wrap these up for the night. and we're just gonna leave them right in the refrigerator. And we're gonna let all the seasonings and juices from this meat kind of go to work on our peppers here, so that they have more flavor in them when we smoke them. I want to really try to maximize the amount of flavor I can get out of this particular cook. I don't season these vegetables. I just allow the meat to do its thing, and I don't really have any scientific proof that this actually works, but in my head it makes sense. So I do it this way. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Okay guys, so here we are. We have these peppers that are stuffed full of our meat filling. We let them sit overnight. Now what we want to do is we want to get some cheese on them. We also want to get our pasta sauce on them. We got some herbs here, some Parmesan. But before we do that, let's go fire up the grill. So today what we're going to be cooking on is we're going to be cooking on our offset smoker. And what we're going to do is we're going to light a chimney of some B&B lump charcoal. We'll get one of these Royal Oak fire starters lit underneath it. We'll set that right back on top. And then we're gonna let this get nice and hot. Once you get your coals in your firebox, you wanna set your vents wide open. You want this thing to come up to temp. So for some smoke flavor today, we're gonna be adding some cherry smoke to this. Just a couple hunks of cherry to get us going. And now we wanna dial this in to between 300 and 350. I like to set it right around 325. Okay, so while our grill's getting hot, what we're gonna do is we're going to just get some ricotta cheese right on top of this meat filling. Like I said, I like to stack this stuff up pretty good. High and deep is what I call it. Right, so now that this is done, we're gonna come back over with some tomato and basil pasta sauce. Okay, now what we have is we have some taco cheese, and you can use whatever combination of cheese you like. But since we use some salsa in this meat filling, I want to stick with that flavor profile. So we're gonna be using a combination of cheddar and asadero cheese. We're just going to sprinkle this right over the top. And to complement the pasta sauce, we have some grated Parmesan. Finally, what we're going to do is we're going to add some parsley flakes to this just to give this a little bit of color. Now these things are ready to go on the smoker. The rain's picked up a little bit today, so I'm not going to be bringing the camera and the tripod downstairs while I throw this on. But what I'll do is I'll get an umbrella and I'll hold the camera by hand, and I'll show you what this is like right before it's about to come off, so you can see what it's supposed to look like. We'll see you down there. Okay guys, so these have been on for about a half hour, right between 325 and 330, and I'm going to call these. These are looking pretty good. I'm going to get these upstairs and let them calm down, and then I'm going to dive right in. See you in a minute. Okay guys, so these have cooled down a little bit. In fact, I've already plated some up and put them in the fridge because they're going to be for dinner tonight, but I am going to eat this one right now. But before I taste this, let's do a quick rundown of what we did to get this. We took bell peppers, we sliced them in half, and we got all the seeds and the guts out. And then what you do is you take about a pound, maybe a pound and a half, depending on the size of your peppers, of ground beef. And then we seasoned it with some Heath Ryle's garlic jalapeno rub and browned it in a skillet and then put it in a bowl. And then we added some medium chunky salsa to it and let it get down to room temperature. And then we stuffed our peppers with it and let our peppers sit on a tray in the fridge overnight, really let those flavors get down into the flesh of the vegetable. And then today we took our peppers, brought them out of the fridge, We topped them with some ricotta cheese, with some tomato basil pasta sauce. And then what we did is we topped it with a little asadero and cheddar cheese that's been shredded to really keep with the salsa flavor profile. And then on top of that, we topped it with a little bit of grated Parmesan cheese and some parsley. And then it went on the pit at 320. You could do it between 300 and 350. I prefer 325. And the lower the temperature you go, the longer you have to cook it. The higher temperature you go, obviously you don't have to cook it as long, and you can do it however you'd like. I set it right at 325, 330, and let it roll for about 30 or 35 minutes. Without further ado, let's get in here and see what we're working with. Oh man, that doesn't look absolutely awesome. I don't know what does. I'm gonna give this a whirl here. Smells great. Oh man, I should have grabbed a plate. That is perfect. Good texture in the vegetables. Letting that meat sit in them overnight really gave them some flavor. It's smoky, it's meaty, it's melty, it's saucy, it's cheesy. It's got all the best flavors in the world. Going back in. Like I said, I should have grabbed a plate for this one. Man. Get really good flavor from that Heath Riles rub. Perfect amount of heat. Just a little on the back end. But what's really getting me is the cherry smoke on this. That really gives it some awesome flavor. The ricotta cheese and the tomato sauce, the pasta sauce, just suck that right up. Got a ton of smoke in there. This is really good. I could eat this every day. Pretty sure. And you know what the cool thing about this is that this is keto. Okay, this is a keto-friendly meal. So if you're partaking in the keto diet or just a low-carb diet in general, this is a great alternative to lasagna, to pizza. You know, actually, it's not a great alternative to that. Nothing beats those. But you know, this still will satisfy your craving. And yeah, I mean, if it's satisfying my craving, it can certainly satisfy yours. Trust me. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with us today. I'm gonna smash the rest of this here, but then I gotta scoot. I gotta get going to work. Thanks for hanging out with us today. If you like what you see here and you want to see more of this and get all of our recipes, we put out a new video about every week. Subscribe to our channel. Give us a like and share. Check us out on Instagram. And I hope you all have a great rest of the week. See you next time.